All right, so part 4, we're going to talk about education. So as the previous video states, we can exchange our institutionalized cultural capital for actual economic capital. So in essence, your degree gets you a job, and that job gets you money. But it's not just because you got the degree, but it's also where you got your degree and the social networks that you created there. So all those different types of cultural capital come together and influence your experience. So I'd like us to focus now on some earnings, and I want to focus on education because one thing that we often talk about is the idea that education is the great equalizer, but only 30% of American adults have a bachelor's degree or more. So the idea here is that if more people got more education, more college education, then the more success in life we might have. So what I've got here is looking at the median annual salary by education based on 2017 data. And so this is calculated from the Bureau of Labor Statistics median weekly salary. Remember that median means middle when you're looking at averages. They've grouped it here by education level. So I calculated it. I calculated an annual salary based on based on weekly salary here. We also what we're not going to talk about right now, but there are differences in terms of who gets college degrees. Right now, like the younger cohort, if you look at younger Americans, they're more likely than older Americans to have a bachelor's degree or more. Women are slightly more likely than men to have a bachelor's degree. In terms of race, Asians are the most likely to have a bachelor's degree, followed by whites, blacks, and Hispanics. So when we look at this chart, we see that certainly this education does pay off in terms of salary. That as you, particularly as you get a bachelor's degree, master's, doctoral, professional, and that would mean something like medical, veterinary, law degree, that those are paying off in terms of higher salaries. So education does pay off. And what we see too is one reason that education pays off is that folks with these degrees are more likely to get permanent full-time jobs. And those are the jobs that are going to provide things like benefits, insurance, and stuff like that. All right, so in terms of social mobility in education, I've got another mobility chart for us to look at. All right, so I'm similar to the last one. They're divided into quintiles across the bottom, the family's income quintile where the folks are born into. But this time, the red, they're divided by education. So the red colors, those are the kids who did not graduate from college, whereas the blue represents the kids who did graduate from college. And as we saw in the Lego video, that education does indeed make a difference. So let's compare here, like the two numbers at the bottom quintile. Where's my mouse? Oh. So here, the numbers here at the bottom quintile here. So in terms of those kids who did graduate college, only 10% of kids who were born into the poorest fifth of home and who graduated college will stay there, compared to the 47% who did not graduate from college, and they're staying there. That's a huge difference. Education is making a huge difference. But look over here at the top quintile. 25% of kids who were born into the richest 20% of homes and don't graduate college, they stay there. Now, true it is if you compare those folks with the folks who were born there and graduated college, like there's a big difference there as well. But 25% of folks staying there who did not graduate college, that's a big number. So education matters. Education certainly matters. We see that almost half of kids from the richest homes who do graduate college will stay there. So my overall point here with this chart is that it's hard to move up from below, but relatively easy to stay at the top. So education matters. Education makes a difference, but it makes an unequal difference. Overall, if you attain higher education, you will be more well off than those similar to you in terms of gender and race who do not attain higher education. All right, so the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to watch a video because before you can go to college and become one of those 30% of Americans who have a bachelor's degree, you have to get your high school diploma or your GED, right? So let's think about some differences that they don't just begin at the high school level. They started way before the high school level, but we're going to see them present in a video that we're going to watch. So we're going to watch a video called Trading Schools. It's only 5 minutes long. It's a clip from Oprah. I'm sorry, it's kind of a grainy video, but it's about students in one very wealthy school, a high school, and students in one very poor high school that aren't that far away from each other, and they swap. They visit each other's schools for a day. So I want you to watch this video that'll be linked under here on Sakai and respond to this prompt. So click on the prompt. So imagine that one student from Harper and one student from Neuqua Valley go to the same college, take the same classes, and participate in the same sports. What are some inequalities those students might face? How did their high schools prepare them differently for college? Consider the school's resources, teachers, facilities, technologies, any other things you can think of too. So watch the video, respond to the prompt, and then finish up with the final lecture video.